With Bitcoin making a new all-time high recently and Ethereum climbing up towards its previous all-time high, it's just a matter of time before alts take off. In every bull run, there are cryptos that surprise everybody. In today's video, I'm going to cover why I think TAO could surprise a lot of people, so hit that like button and let's jump into it. Alright, today we're going to cover TAO. Bittensor has been climbing up the charts since its launch. So take a look at CoinGecko. Bittensor is currently at spot number 44 on the total crypto chart. So if you count the different stable coins that are in the top 50, there's quite a few. And there's also a bunch of different Ethereums. So there's WETH and a bunch of other Ethereums. So it wouldn't take a lot for Bittensor to climb up to the top 10. If you take a look here, if you get all the way up to the top 10 here, if you take out USDC and Tether as examples for the top 10, that would probably put you around number 13 if you take out wrapped ETH here. So number 13 is actually probably the top 10 that's not a stable coin. That's a $15 billion market cap. And if you scroll down here to number 44 with Bittensor, it's currently at $3.5 billion market cap. So really, it's not that far behind from hitting the top 10. In every bull run, you get some new cryptos that have launched in the previous cycle that can shoot up to the top 10. Doesn't mean it will happen, but it certainly could happen, and Bittensor could be one of those to do that. With the fact that they have a very limited supply, they actually have the same total or max supply as Bitcoin, 21 million coins. They do have a halving event that's coming up here in December as well. I'm going to cover that in this video. So take a look at Bittensor's price, currently at $370, and over the last year, it got double where it was now, a little over $700. If you take a look at the market cap, like I said, it's $3.5 billion currently. Now the circulating supply on it is under 10 million currently, so it's a very low circulating supply. And they do have a halving coming up. Now this is a partial proof of work project. I think 74% of the supply of TAO is actually proof of work with the miners. And then the halving schedule is coming up as well. The halving is a little bit different than Bitcoin's halving. We'll go over that in this video, and I'll show you that here in just a little bit. But if we take a look at this TAOFi here, they're bringing the base and Solana liquidity to Bittensor. So the Bittensor subnets are actually available on Base and Solana as well, two of the hottest networks for this cycle. So that is a really big factor for Bittensor. The fact that they have these alpha coins and all these subnets that are available with these coins on Solana and Base is huge for Bittensor, because all these alpha coins will be available to be migrated to them as well with bridges like TAOFi and others. So there's other bridges out there that can bridge these tokens and these subnets onto Base and Solana. So if you take a look at the tokenomics for the TAO token here, you can see its circulating supply is 9.7 million tokens here. If you read this here, it talks about it a little bit. It says there's an initial iteration of the network name Kusanagi, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not, which was started on the 3rd of January of 2021 and then halted in the middle of May so that some issues could be addressed, but they got those addressed. And then the blockchain with all 540-some thousand previously mined TAO were then migrated to Nakamoto, and which is started on the 2nd of November of 2021 from Block 0. The Finning network was officially launched on the 20th of March in 2023. So the total block issuance rather than a block number is used to determine the exact point of the halving. So it's not like Bitcoin where they actually have a block number that determines the halving, but there is a schedule for this. It says as TAO is used to recycle registrations, is burned back into the unissued supply. There is a lengthening halving data. However, this data is calculated at the current block issuance, so it will update automatically over time. So according to the current halving data, it's November 30th of this year. It could spill over into December. So this isn't built in stone yet what the actual date will be, but until we get closer, of course. But right now it's showing that right around the November 30th date is when the halving will happen for TAO. Right now there's 46% of the TAO tokens in circulation, and then the first halving of TAO is going to be right around the end of November into early December, somewhere in that range. And then the next one will be approximately around 2030, 2035, and so on. Once you get up there, these token halvings really reduce the amount of tokens that are generated from the mining of the token. So every halvening, it gets cut in half. So keep that in mind. It gets reduced significantly with each halvening. So the first one is a big one. So there's a lot of institutional money flowing into TAO, and I covered that in my previous video about some of these other projects that are launching on TAO. There's real projects that are launching into TAO and investing into their network. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of institutional money that is flowing into the Bittensor network, and this is one of those projects that could surprise a lot of people. You know, with it already being in the billions of market cap, it's been a very successful project so far with it launching just recently. So that is a big milestone for some of these projects to get up in the billions of market cap so early on. And for this to do this so early, and we haven't had a true bull run yet with it, is really surprising. And the fact that the bull run is still coming up here, when we get a real alt season, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with TAO and to see if it actually hits that top 10 spot or not. But I do think that it is a possibility. So we'll see what happens over the course of the next few months and potentially into 2026. So we'll take a look at this article here. Bittensor secures $7.5 million investment from Oblong. The TAO price surges. So this recent surge in the TAO price is basically from this investment, they think, from Oblong investing $7.5 million in TAO. You can see here that this institutional money is flowing into TAO. And if you take a look at this one here, why institutional investors are embracing TAO tokens, this is on OKX.com. Institutional interest in TAO tokens is growing rapidly, with companies integrating them into their cryptocurrency treasury strategies. For example, TAO Strategies recently acquired almost 30,000 TAO tokens for $10 million, positioning itself as the largest publicly traded pure-play TAO holder globally. This move highlights the increasing appeal of the decentralized AI as a transformative technology, and often compared to the early days of the internet in 1996 or Bitcoin in 2013. So there is some institutional interest flowing into TAO so far, millions of dollars being invested into it. That is another sign that this thing could do really well, this bull run. So I'm keeping an eye on it. It's definitely not something that you want to put all of your funds into because it is a brand new project, so just be careful of that. I seen someone comment on my video recently. They invested like 30% of their portfolio into TAO, all of their profits into it. You know, it's okay to have a diversified portfolio. You don't want to go too much into all one token, especially brand new ones like this, but it could potentially do very well. But just don't put all of your eggs in one basket, so be careful of that. I would never recommend anyone to invest all of their funds into TAO, but it's definitely something that you may want to have a part of your portfolio for sure. So I appreciate, guys, if you would subscribe to my channel. If you're interested in my Telegram group, that is absolutely free. The link for that is in the description below. And if you're interested in joining my Discord, the membership link for that is through Patreon. That is in the description below as well. I think it's only like $9.99 a month or $14.99 a month, depending on what's available for spots. You guys can join my Discord. Like I said, the link is in the description below. That's all I've got for this video, guys. I appreciate it. We'll see you on the next video.